Coming up on Volusia Magazine, we dial up local amateur radio operators, discover the latest breakthroughs by local innovators, and we catch up with the Echo Rangers. Those stories and more coming up next. Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. Is your child a Lone Ranger? Are you looking for fun adventures with other kids that are also educational? Then turn your Lone Ranger into an Echo Ranger. Gary Daniels has the details.
Echo Ranger is a program that is run by Volusia County, and it exposes young people and their families to all the ecological, cultural, heritage, and outdoor opportunities that we have in this county.
My first Echo Ranger adventure was Ponce Inlet, where I went to the jetty, the lighthouse, and the Marine Science Center. At the jetty, I got to watch people fish, and I got splashed by a wave. At the lighthouse, I got to make a craft of a lighthouse, and I got to climb the lighthouse. My favorite part of the Marine Science Center was when I got to touch the stingray.
Its purpose is to expose young children and their families, scout troops, to all the things that Volusia County has to offer them, across the range. Anything from museums to libraries to parks, our Marine Science Center, all the things that we have to see and do in Volusia County.
I really enjoyed to go to the DeLand Museum of Art to work on the art projects. My favorite adventure was to the Museum of Arts and Sciences. At the Museum of Arts and Sciences, I got to see what Florida was like 10,000 years ago. My favorite part was the Kids Museum. In the Kids Museum, I got to play a light heart, throw a baseball and see how fast I threw it, and run my own pizza shop. I also got to see lots of art from around the world.
I hope that kids have an appreciation for what all is around them that they can go and experience. We're also hoping that they learn something because of all the different things that they're going to be exposed to, especially give them an appreciation for our environment.
At my last Echo Ranger adventure, I learned about manatees at Tomoka State Park.
When it reaches 68 degrees, the manatees are looking for a place to stay.
I also explored the park, saw the Indian statue that was there, and sat by the water. One of the most fun parts was that I got to spend time with my dad exploring. The Echo Rangers was a really fun thing to do, and I think all kids should do it.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st and continues through November 30th. Be prepared and take time to develop your emergency plans. Stock a 14-day supply of non-perishable food, water, and medical items for your family. Identify special needs for you and your loved ones. Discuss and create an evacuation plan. Remember, shelter should only be used as a last resort. For more information, visit volusia.org/emergency.
Osceola Elementary School students have been learning the importance of eating a balanced diet and the greater food system through gardening and classroom nutrition education provided by UFIFAS Family Nutrition Programs. Patrick Zayas and Brittany Payne take us to the students' final harvest and show us some good, healthy eating.
Welcome to Solutions for Your Life. I'm Patrick Zayas.
And I'm Brittany Payne.
So Brittany, we've done a lot of really fun things this school year, educating kids on the importance of healthy eating, physical activity, and educating them on where their food comes from. What's been your favorite?
That would have to be the harvest party at Osceola Elementary. Those kids are fantastic. They're eager to learn and open-minded to trying new things.
That's great. I really enjoyed that one also. Let's take a closer look.
The concept of the garden started a few years ago when a teacher reached out to the University of Florida to have them come out and teach a few lessons with the students. And since then, the garden has grown from just a few plants to a year-long event.
All right, my friends, today you're learning how to prep and harvest the vegetables that you grew in your garden, okay? So I've given you instructions on how to properly cut using the technique that I showed you, bear claw. See how I hold my tomato bear claw? And seesaw.
As soon as you guys have a vegetable, you guys may pick up your knives and begin cutting. Sound good? It's gonna be one big salad that everybody's gonna share from. That's why we gotta have you guys put the hairnets and the gloves on, just because everybody's gonna be eating out of it.
Look at this, Gavin. I'm gonna give this to you. We don't eat the leafy part right here, and we usually chop this end off. So you're gonna take those two things off, set it here, and chop the middle part, all right? How are you doing with the chopping? You feel good? These ones are a little bit tricky. They're really hard. If you just push down, this carrot's gonna go flying across the room, okay? Amy, are you ready to try your salad?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So let me ask you something. Which part of the plant is this right here?
That is the leaf.
Very good. And let's try, how about this red pepper? You remember the vegetable subgroups that we talked about?
Yes.
Which vegetable subgroup does red pepper belong to?
That is the red and orange.
Red and orange. Good job, Avi.
I liked it. I mean, it tastes pretty good. Like, it was pretty flavorful, and one of my favorite things that were in there was the bell pepper. It tasted the most flavorful, in my opinion.
The students really enjoyed having the garden and having people come out and show them how to grow their vegetables. We actually, one of my students said that he planted vegetables with his family at home.
I like growing the garden because it was like a fun thing to do, and we got to plant things and we got to learn. Like we learned how to plant vegetables.
My best part of the year was learning about the garden, learning different food sources, lettuce, tomatoes, what's good for you and what's not.
I liked how we were able to learn a lot more how to properly plant like vegetables and fruits. Then we are able to know how to make it so we can maybe make it ourselves at home.
This is our last nutrition lesson for the year. I want to say thank you. Your behavior this year has been amazing. You've been engaged in my lessons. You made me feel respected when I came in. I'm so proud of the work that you've put in this year. You're brilliant, you're kind, don't ever forget it.
The biggest thing that I feel the children have learned is to try anything, any kind of vegetables that it might not look like what you would normally think is good, but it actually is very tasty. And so I've seen them actually tasting herbs that they might not have wanted to taste.
Those students had so much fun. They really seemed to enjoy chopping, preparing, and eating vegetables they helped grow themselves.
We're gonna bring you more stories like this throughout the upcoming school year, so please stay tuned. With Solutions for Your Life, I'm Patrick Zayas.
And I'm Brittany Payne.
Mosquitoes will bite day and night, so protect yourself with these tips. Keep mosquitoes outside by shutting doors and covering windows with screens. Use EPA-approved insect repellents anytime you're outdoors. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in water. Just a bottle cap of water is all they need. So drain, refresh, or cover anything around buildings that can hold water at least weekly, and put away outside items that aren't being used. A message from the Florida Department of Health.
Our lives often revolve around our phones. During extreme weather, that line of communication can be compromised. Shelley Safranek is at the Emergency Operations Center and meets with a group of individuals who tune in year-round to help communities be more prepared for when the wind blows.
Do you know what KV4EOC stands for? I didn't know, but this call sign and this radio may be the best hope you have for getting the word out during an emergency. KV4EOC, is anyone on frequency? In today's technology-driven environment, you may be surprised that a primary communication tool used by emergency responders and relief organizations after a disaster is not a cell phone, it's a radio. Amateur radio operators have been providing vital communication during natural disasters such as floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes since 1910.
Amateur radio is so important because everybody relies on cell phones, the trunking system in the county, they all rely on that. And they will fail at some point. You can take Puerto Rico, for example, or the wildfires in California. When they go down, amateur radio is there to take over if need be.
In Volusia County, Carl and his fellow amateur radio operators provide communication support to the emergency public shelters that are open during a disaster such as a hurricane. And when the wind blows out the power, it's this radio communication that relays vital information to the county's Emergency Operations Center, helping to ensure people are safe and have the provisions they need while power is being restored.
Without amateur radio, the Operations Center would not have known what happened to that shelter and what they needed to get back up online. So after the hurricane passed, they were able to get out there and get everything working again.
Now, Carl and other amateur radio operators in Volusia County are part of an overall nationwide group, the American Radio Relay League. And a week after Hurricane Maria ravaged Puerto Rico, this group sprang into action following a request by the American Red Cross for 50 amateur radio operators to help with the recovery communications. 22 volunteers were selected, and these responders geared up and deployed to provide assistance across the island. Recently, Carl and other amateur radio operators attended a presentation to learn how these efforts went in Puerto Rico.
For approximately 80 years, there's been a memorandum of understanding between the American Radio Relay League and the Red Cross for mutual support. But this was the first time in history that the Red Cross actually activated a request for amateur radio operators on this scale for a disaster like this happened with Maria. The initial mission was to do the safe and well, and we ended up not fulfilling much of that mission because when we arrived, frankly, people weren't safe and well. And they realized they needed tactical communications where we could make requests for supplies, medical equipment. So when we deployed all of our operators around the island, many of the requests might be ranging from water supplies to giving communication status reports. They even assisted with the Guajataca Dam that started to breach, and our operator was there and even did some air traffic control for the helicopters coming in to do the repairs. There are at least 2 instances where amateur radio operators were able to make the calls for medical transport. So that's what ended up being the majority, both to the Red Cross and then eventually to the Federal Emergency Operations Center.
According to Joe, in Puerto Rico, the hours were long, sometimes 24/7, and a 2-week deployment turned into 3 weeks due to the importance of the work. It made a difference, though, and for Joe, it was rewarding and a memory of a lifetime. Experiences in Puerto Rico also provide fellow amateur radio operators with a lot of good lessons learned, which continues to help radio communication efforts following a disaster evolve. According to experts, the old concern with how many messages did we deliver has been replaced with how quickly did we adapt to meet the communication needs, which, as in the case of the Puerto Rico response, required out-of-the-box thinking and stamina. This dedication to continuing to involve radio communications is critical for this dedicated group known for their love of tinkering and desire to help communities affected by a disaster.
I like the idea to be able to communicate and also tinker, like you say, because it's a lot of people picture amateur radio as basically tinkers. A lot of new ideas for radio has come out of amateur radio because we're experimenters. Most amateur radio operators are experimenters. And then the public service idea came out of it, and I heard about that, and I loved it. I came to a meeting here in Volusia County, probably I think about 2001, and loved it. It was a great group of guys. They understood what I liked, and helping the community. I've always liked that. KG4HBN is their own frequency.
To learn more about the Emergency Services Amateur Radio Program in Volusia County, visit www.volusiaaries.org. And who knows, your call sign may be the next one we hear over the radio when the wind blows. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Shelley Safranek.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Utility boxes are unassuming and monochromatic, blending into the background. Not so in downtown DeLand, where civic leaders collaborated with local artists to transfer these blank canvases into works of art.
We have 12 boxes throughout the downtown area, from Howry all the way to Wisconsin. The idea for this project came from some trips that I had throughout the country. I felt that we could do something here in DeLand with our utility boxes, which are basically meaningless structures other than traffic light signals. I've been involved with this from day one. So seeing one that was fully implemented over here at Indiana, East Indiana, with the postcards. John Wilton and I put that together, and I was absolutely, I'll say, enthralled by what I saw. John has been the, I'll say, driving force. Well, it may have been my idea. John is the one that really pulled it together and made it happen.
My involvement in this project is not so much about me, it's about cultural tourism and aesthetic stewardship in the city of DeLand. So any way I can work to get that accomplished, that's what I'm going to do. This project was a collaboration between the Museum of Art DeLand and the City of DeLand. The City Commission understands the value of these projects. The staff has worked with us to do tremendous work in getting everything done. So that's really what it takes, is cooperation from the people who can make it happen and allow people like us to inform them of what we would like to do, and they figure out how we can go forward. When we finally completed the first of the 14 boxes that we've wrapped, it was pretty amazing because we'd been working on this for 3 years up to that point to get it accomplished. The way the world works, we're inundated with visual information. So I would bet that most people aren't even aware of these traffic boxes on the corner. They tune them out. Once we dress them up, then all of a sudden it's something worth looking at. It's something to think about while you're stopped at the corner. It's a little piece of beauty that wasn't there, as opposed to something they just tuned out because it was ugly.
The reaction has been extremely positive. I can't say enough about it. I've had no negative comments. People absolutely love the artwork, they love the location, they love the surprise when they come to another box. So it's been very, very, very positive.
All these projects that we're doing for public art certainly help with the notoriety of the city. It all works together to make this a greater place than it ever has been.
Because it again puts emphasis on arts in downtown DeLand. I love it.
I'm Josh Wagner.
And I'm Billy Wheeler. During the planning stages of the Tom Stead Veteran Memorial Bridge, people voiced their desire to have a Veterans Memorial Plaza on the northwest side of the bridge.
The Veterans Memorial Plaza will create a special place in our community for people to reflect and connect with our fallen heroes.
The proposed concept for the new Veterans Memorial Plaza is estimated to be a $1.2 million endeavor.
Your donation will help us create a special place in our community in which we can honor Volusia County veterans from all military branches and military conflicts. To help fund our Veterans Memorial Plaza, visit veteransmemorialbridge.com or call Volusia County Accounting at 386-736-5933.
We appreciate your support to create this lasting memorial for those who have served and continue to serve our country.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
The Volusia County Business Incubator annually hosts the Cairns Foundation Innovation Challenge, where local college entrepreneurs compete for big cash prizes and the chance to advance their technologies. Community Information Director Joanne Magley has the story on all their big ideas.
Broken fishing rods, driving distractions, unsanitary water, and smelly shoes. Real-life problems encountered by local college students who took matters into their own hands and created a solution. Many applied, but only 6 budding entrepreneurs were invited to pitch their innovations at the 2018 Cairns Foundation Innovation Challenge, sponsored by the Volusia County Business Incubator. Thomas Oltorek, a student at Stetson, is an avid fisherman. He created the Quick Clip.
I participate heavily in college fishing throughout my time in school, and one of the days we finished fishing, our favorite rod that we were catching all of our fish on had broken eyelets on it, and we couldn't use it anymore because we kept using it with the broken eyelet and more eyelets were popping off to the point where it rendered the rod useless. And on the way home, we thought about it, and I was like, why can't we just have something that would clip on there, strap down, and replace that guide so we wouldn't have to give up that rod for the day? And after a lot of studies and sketches and drawings, it came to life on the 3D printer at Stetson.
Jalessa Zolko, a freshman at Stetson University, began thinking like an entrepreneur when she was just a young teenager.
I want to say 6 or so years ago, I was in the back seat of my mom, and she was driving in the front seat, and all of her belongings went flying off the front seat. She always keeps everything up there. So little me in the back seat was climbing over, trying to help her collect all of her items that she put on the front, and then we thought, wow, why don't they have something there that holds the items in place that is still, that can stay in the car at all times? So that's how it kind of came about.
That idea was the Smart Sleeve, made from an elasticized fabric network that's placed around the passenger seat to protect and secure valuables while driving. Jalissa patented her idea and then sat on it for a while, getting opinions on the product. Then, Stetson launched its entrepreneurship program.
So I was like, wow, this might be my chance to finally, commercialize this product before it's too late.
Dr. Jim Cairns started the foundation in 2003 as a way to identify and give a life-changing boost for a bright, creative, young person who otherwise might never attain their full potential. For the first 10 years, they provided a scholarship program for local schools, but Cairns wanted to do something more.
We came up with this idea 5 years ago, and the first one was interesting and a lot of fun. So we've been having fun doing it ever since, and I think we've made an impact, a small impact at least, on the local community. Some new companies have been created. Some people who might not otherwise have chosen an entrepreneurial career have chosen one. So it's satisfying.
The judges based their scoring on novelty of the innovation, attributes of the startup team, size and potential of the markets addressable by the innovation, quality of development plan and ultimate path to market, and suitability for near-term development within a startup company.
Surely it's a unique opportunity for a student to have a group of 80 or 100 people in front of them and having to pitch their project in 15 minutes.
Thomas's Quick Clip was the big winner at the prestigious challenge with the top prize of $10,000 and 1-year enrollment in the Volusia County Business Incubator. The incubator, which is powered by the UCF Business Incubation Program, is a community resource that provides early-stage companies with the tools, training, and infrastructure to become financially stable, high-impact enterprises. It's funded by Volusia County Government's Economic Development Division. Incubator clients also receive personal mentoring and peer-to-peer networking, something Thomas will get to experience firsthand as he grows his business in this nurturing environment.
This is my 4th event with the school. I've had a couple other top 5s, but it's my first win, so I'm really excited about that.
For the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.
That concludes this special episode. Thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today is every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman. Have a wonderful evening.